This is the Game 3 finals recap between the Celtics and Mavericks. Let's get right into this. So, as soon as the game started, first quarter, I noticed at least maybe about 10 different times, I want to say, that Luka Doncic called for a pick on the guy that Jason Tatum was guarding so that he could get the switch on Tatum. This looked very deliberate to me, and it wasn't until the Celtics bench players came in where they finally started picking on somebody else or trying to pick on someone else, which looked to be Hauser, and I'm going to speak on him in just a bit. But let me stay in the first quarter. Kyrie Irving started off really good again, and it looked like anytime Kyrie had the ball, he was trying to get a switch and Al Horford. So Luka Doncic wanted that Tatum matchup, and Kyrie Irving was looking for that Al Horford switch, and anytime he got it, he either immediately attacked the basket using his speed, or he tried to beat him off the dribble for a three-pointer. Continuing into the first quarter, and I'm about to get in the second in a bit and wrap up the first half. Jason Tatum had a really good first quarter and start to the game, and overall good performance. I noticed he was aggressive from the start. He was attacking the basket a lot more, and he was drawing fouls. He wasn't just relying on the three-point shot. He kind of mixed it in a lot more, so that was very noticeable for me. In the second quarter, not too much difference or anything happening that really jumped out. Aside from Sam Hauser stepped in and hit some key three-pointers, in my opinion, that they really needed. I did notice that when he was in the game, they tried to target him defensively, and I thought he did an okay job in not being exploited. And in the first two games, their scoring punch that came off the bench was Porzingis. As we know, he was injured in this game. So I really think that Hauser did a good job and just provided them some scoring off of the bench. Peyton Pritchard, I thought he did a really good job harassing Kyrie Irving defensively, just really being a pest on defense and making it hard. He didn't do anything that jumped out in the box score. I'm just talking about the little things on that side of the ball. Now, the third quarter up until the early fourth quarter is where I'm watching and I'm saying, oh boy, Dallas looks like they're in some trouble. Jaylen Brown had a relatively quiet first half. He started picking things up more in that second half. But when I'm watching the Dallas defense, there were so many times where they were so worried about the Celtics having a mismatch that they were literally just paying attention to that potential danger, and then there was a backdoor cut or an easy cut to the basket, layup, a guy wide open for a three-pointer, because they were so focused on who had the ball that potentially could hurt them that they didn't look at the other guys who were easily getting a basket. And there was one play towards the end of the third quarter where I literally remember Jaylen Brown had the ball at the three-point line. Within two, maybe three dribbles, he was at the rim dunking. There was no perimeter resistance, and then there was no interior defense to help. He just got right to the basket, point A to point B, and dunked it. And there was just a lot of those kind of plays where they were slow on the rotation. Just defense, little things on defense that I think Dallas wasn't doing good in that quarter. Also, Luka Doncic looked very visibly upset with the referees. And there was also a particular play where he tried to score around the basket. He didn't get, I guess, what he wanted as a call. And he just did a very silly foul on, I forgot who it was, but it was a silly foul in the backcourt that he didn't need to take. And he ended up getting an extra foul. And as we know later in the game, he fouled out. I got to give some props to Xavier Tillman as well. Porzingis is injured. He came in off the bench. They tried to exploit him a lot on defense too, and he just did a really good job moving his feet, contesting shots. Again, didn't do anything crazy that showed up in the box score, kind of like what I was talking about with Peyton Pritchard in the second quarter. But in that third, he was out there and he just did the right things, just winning plays. He scored a three-pointer that I thought was clutch to really extend the lead, headed into the fourth. So I wanted to give him some credit as well in this recap, which leads us into the fourth quarter. And as I was saying in that third, where I was critiquing the Dallas defense, it didn't look as focused. There was one particular play again where Kyrie Irving literally did like a 360. He didn't know where the ball was, and Jaylen Brown was in the corner for a three. And Kyrie had no idea he had the ball, even though he was just a few feet away from him. Jaylen Brown knocks down the three-pointer. It was those kind of plays that made me say, man, Mavericks are not locked in on this side of the ball fully. Anyways, the Mavericks are down 21 points with 10 minutes left in the fourth. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, Luka and Kyrie got to go on some heroic duo miracle performance and really pull this out. Before I know it, I look up at the screen. They're only down 10. It just seemed like a minute passed off the clock too. I'm not sure. It just happened really fast. They cut down the lead. And during this time, I think the Boston Celtics stopped running plays. It didn't look like they were really making a concerted effort to move the ball, run their set play, whatever it is, really get a high percentage shot. It just looked like they seemed like they were saying, okay, we got this lead. Let's just try to hit a home run ball, a three-pointer here, a three-pointer there, and really knock these guys out. And I think Dallas took a really good advantage of that. As the fourth continues, we're headed down to the final minutes of the game, and Dallas Mavericks cut it to single digits. Kyrie's making some big shots. Luka's doing his thing. I'm saying, wow, are they really going to pull this off? This is crazy. And then before you know it, Luka Doncic tries to take a charge. I didn't think it was a good charge he tried to take. Immediately when I saw it, I thought to myself, oh man, they're going to call a blocking foul. I had no idea at that point he had 5 fouls. And once he got called for it, immediately he obviously was upset because now he's fouled out of the game. They try to challenge it. As I was saying before, though, there was other moments in the game before where he looked upset and he picked up some frustration fouls that he shouldn't have. Unfortunately, it came back to haunt him. They lose the challenge. He's fouled out now. I gotta admit, I've been calling for Tim Hardaway to get more minutes. When Luka Doncic was fouled out, I believe Jason Kidd subbed him in if he wasn't already in. And I'm going to go through all of the box scores right now. Tim Hardaway got 19 minutes, went scoreless, no assists, 3 rebounds. There was also a play or different plays where it looked like they were trying to also target him on defense, the Celtics. So Tim Hardaway didn't really take advantage of that moment fully. Kyrie Irving clearly had the best game of this series so far. Luka Doncic did what he normally did. The problem is Jason Tatum showed up. Had a really, really great game from start to finish overall. Jaylen Brown chipped in 30 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. I'm not sure who I would give the MVP, or I should say player of the game for this game. I think it's either or between Tatum or Brown. Now with the Celtics up 3-0, I think Jaylen Brown would get the finals MVP for the whole series, the way it's looking. We'll see though, and y'all can let me know in the comments who you think deserves that. But my overall thoughts to the game, once Luka went out, Kyrie tried to do everything he could to put the team on his back. They were already down. The game was winding down itself and just wasn't able to happen. I do want to look at something very interesting though. The Dallas Mavericks throughout the whole game in total only had 1 block. All right, we see guys by themselves get more than 1 block. This was a very winnable game for the Mavericks and for the Celtics, and obviously they're the ones who won it. It was also the first game in the series where we saw both superstars for both teams shine. In the end, it was the Celtics pair who got the last laugh. Let me know what y'all think about the video. Comment any other analysis that you think needs to be added, something that you saw that you want to point out. And as always, salute for listening. Peace.